Now let's talk some business. Fidelity Bank on Monday apologized to stockbrokers at the Nigerian Stock Exchange over misinformation in its 2018 annual report. Business editor Effiong Ekop reports.
Fidelity Bank has apologized to stockbrokers and investors at the NSE over what it called mistake in its 2018 financial report. The bank sent his company secretary to meet with stockbrokers during mid-trade on Monday. Fidelity Bank officials and stockbrokers held closed-door meeting on the floor where the bank was said to have explained that the wrong dividend figure of 22 kobo was committed during collation and compilation of the financial documents. We learned that the bank gave commitment to be more careful in handling market documents. Fidelity Bank officials hurried out of the building, avoiding interactions with journalists, just as stockbrokers were unwilling to talk about the issue. Last Friday, Fidelity Bank had adjusted its 2018 dividend from initial 22 kobo to 11 kobo per share after it had published the initial figure the previous day. TVC News investigations showed that investors who had burnt their fingers positioning themselves for the dividend of the company had now dumped the shares of the company. Effiong Ekop, TVC News, Lagos.
And the Senate Committee on Industry supporting the Standards Organization of Nigeria's biotechnological innovations to improve the nation's economy and export promotion. The committee gave the indication during an oversight function at the Standards Agency Laboratory Facility in Lagos. Ifunaya Eze reports.
The Standards Regulatory Agency is faced with the constant challenge of quality control, which ensures that all standards parameters are observed by importers and manufacturers of products in the country. Taking members of the Senate Committee on a tour of its laboratory facilities, it was established that the agency's laboratory meets world standards. In view of this, the committee stated its commitment to give the necessary legislative push to further promote standards processes in Nigeria.
Standard is something that we need to completely upscale at each time. So they need to be very versatile with issues concerning standards. All we needed is proper collaboration between SON and the legislature. So that when that is done, we'll make sure that it's not just the activities of SON, but it's backed by the appropriate legislation so that this way we can move forward.
For all the necessary legislation to ensure that all agreements and all of issues that require Parliament's approval is done. And I think as soon as necessary proposals for legislation are made to domesticate any of these issues, we will carry it out very speedily to ensure that we have the necessary laws for SON to do what it ought to do.
The Director General of the agency says that the regulatory agency will remain committed to efficient service delivery.
It's a welcome development. Usually it adds value to what we do. It's for them to know, because they say, according to them, they say the reward for hard work is more work. So they encourage us. They up the anthem for us in our attempt to, like standard, it needs continual improvement. So our services and quality of our services should also continually improve to be better positioned to improve the life of Nigerians through standards.
The Standards Agency's laboratory is expected to support the country's export processes by ensuring that made in Nigeria goods are competitive. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
Saudi Aramco, the world's top oil producer, has been rated A+ by Fitch and A1 by Moody's in its first ever credit ratings. Aramco will start meeting international bond investors this week for its debut in the international capital markets, opening its books to investors' scrutiny for the first time. Aramco ratings are in line with the credit ratings of Saudi Arabia. Aramco intends to issue its first US dollar-denominated bonds, expected to be for at least $10 billion, after completing a bond roadshow this week. Aramco's earnings before interest tax of $224 billion in 2018 surpassed ExxonMobil, the world's largest listed oil firm.